Nepal government. An accomplished researcher and author, Dr. Stapit has published extensively in peer-reviewed journals, contributing valuable insight into strategic human resource, international business, and management practices. Today, we are privileged to have him share his knowledge and perspectives with us at this fourth National Conference organized by Kopa College. His keynote addresses promises to be both thoughtful, provoking, and enlightening. Now, Professor Stapit, now floor is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Rajkumar Pradhan, sir, the convener of the fourth conference, National Conference, being organized by Kopa College. Actually, I esteem it as a great privilege for me to be here as a keynote speaker for consecutive fourth year. So I've been really privileged to be the keynote speaker in the previous editions also. Well, today, since the theme of this international conference is very apt, fitting, and relevant, it is ESG innovation, very important, ESG innovation. So, connecting my presentation with the ESG innovation, I would like to discuss a few things that have emerged in the recent years. So, since you all have also faced couple of new contemporary issues during your studies, your professional discussions, practices also. So taking them together, what we can do here is we can proceed with the contemporary issues through multiple discussions and discussions with multiple stakeholders, taking references from multiple sources. Of course, credible sources. All right. So today I'm going to discuss the theme, the future of work. The future of work. So this title is very important, and you might have come across it very often because the World Economic Forum, which is also known as the think tank of the economic world today, after this new millennium particularly. So World Economic Forum, WEF, has continuously been researching the area of future of work, future of jobs. You might have come across it. So, checking that reference, which is very, very relevant to us and also to today's theme, I'm going to discuss the future of work or future of job. All right? And I have titled it like future of work, that you do not need to look into future, but right now it is already in front of you. You should be able to manage the future work today. So that is my point. Therefore, the future of work is now. This is my assertion. Now, it is now you have to manage the future of your work. Tomorrow, what type of jobs you are going to handle, what type of jobs you are going to create, is now. All right. Therefore, the future of work is now. Now, particularly, I would like to redefine HRM for resilience and innovation. Therefore, it's been titled "The Future of Work is Now: Redefining Human Resource Management for Resilience and Innovation." All right. So, the context is very lovely. The context is we are here at Kopa College. Kopa, the Newar Township, which has got tremendous archaeological, historical, and cultural importance. So we are here, and we are at Kopa College, which is the harbinger of education in this, not only in this district, not only in this Bagmati province, but in the entire nation, and hopefully in the world. Okay, so the picture offers you very, very rich heritage, cultural heritage that speaks much. Words fail us to describe Kopa or Bhaktapur, this district, this town. Words really fail us. but the picture is the evidence. All right? Okay. Well, while we talk about the future of work, let's begin with this quotation. The future of work is not something that happens to us. It is something we create. So let's believe we can build our future ourselves. You don't need to depend on others, but you build your future yourself. We build our future ourselves. We create the jobs. We create the jobs. In the context of the emerging AI onslaught, all right, artificial intelligence has started its onslaught on us, but still we should venture out to manage AI so that AI or the machine would not replace human. Human is always human. Humans should be superior. So let the machine not prevail over human. That is my point. All right. So therefore, it is something, future work is something we create. Let's believe that. All right. So you know Jacob Morgan, I believe many of you know him well, is the best-selling author on future of work. All right. So whenever you search for the literature on future of work, future of jobs, you come across his writings, of course. And he has been the founder of the Future of Work University. All right. So therefore, your topic, the ESC innovation, is both timely and transformative. And I try to connect it with my presentation. All right. So first, a little bit about future of work. Let's try to understand what the future of work is. So future of work fundamentally is the evolving landscape of work shaped by technological advancements, shifting workforces, workforce demographics, and changing organizational models, organizational context. All right. So future of work. So what type of work we are going to have tomorrow? What type of jobs you are going to have tomorrow? Many, including me, are involved in education, delivering education, lecturing, researching, so on and so forth, writing and all right? So that is our job. So have you ever wondered, our jobs could be at risk? Teachers' jobs could be at risk. Ever wondered? Probably yes. Who knows? Probably that could be the case. That could be tomorrow's. All right. Therefore, I will take you to the report of World Economic Forum that has continuously been doing research in this area and listing the top 10, top 20 jobs that have been popular these days, and other jobs which could be at risk. All right. Those jobs could be lost in near future. So you never know if the job you have been doing today might be lost. All right, because of the changing environment, changing social, environmental, governance changes that might happen. All right, let's see. Let's take stock of that. So future of job encompasses how work is done, who does it, the performer, okay, the job holder, the employee, okay, worker, where it happens. So workplaces, whether in the field or workplaces within the organization, all right? And what skills are needed? Very important. Skills, let's be more skills. So I would like to emphasize on the skills that tomorrow's jobs will require you to possess. So analytical skills, language skills, calculation skills, computing skills, okay? So on and so forth. Creative skills, diagnostic, analytical skills. What type of skills future jobs will require you to possess? Let's take stock of that. All right, so main dimensions to the future of work, main dimensions, very quickly. Technology and automation. Of course, the job of tomorrow's jobs would be influenced by technology and automation. So we have already come across it. We have experienced it from time to time. So integration of artificial intelligence, robotics, digital platforms in everyday work. Everyday work. I remember I have just very recently participated in the UNESCO UniTwin program. You know, UNESCO and UniTwin means the twinning of universities. So here from Nepal, we are Tribhuvan University and Nepal Open University. So I represented Nepal Open University and participated in that discussion program in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, very recently. And that seminar was all about how to connect AI with our education system. Very important for we people who lead education enterprises, education institutions like Cooper College or different universities and colleges. It's very important for us. Okay, so that came only as the cursory experience, just as a cursor, you know, the preliminary experience for now. Okay, but it has sensitized me, my teammates back home at Nepal Open University, or maybe Tribhuvan University and everywhere in Nepal. Okay, so sensitization. Okay, workforce structure and employment model. Of course, tomorrow's job, future jobs. What type of workforce structure would be there? Whether you create a team, or you work alone, or even in the team, what type of the skills your team members would possess, that matters. Okay, and freelance. Let's see. Look at the things like rise of gig economy, freelancers, portfolio careers. Okay, so tomorrow these are going to be the major players in the market. Okay, so very importantly, future jobs would demand more flexibility. Okay, so remote working. Probably last time I delivered my keynote speech in 2022 or 23. I'm a bit confused. Anyway, in the previous one, I delivered my keynote speech on remote work system. Okay, remote work system. Then, okay, so another one is hybrid workplaces today. So that is the need of the day. You cannot make things so stricter. You cannot bind people together with some rule or the other. So workers would require more flexibility at workplaces. And therefore, asynchronous work models. Okay, so let me give you an example of our online classes. Okay, you have also come across online classes. We at our university exclusively utilize online classes. Of course, you might have done during the pandemic time. Okay, so let's recall the time. Reflect how you participated in the online learning classes. Okay, online classes. So it would be synchronous. Your teacher would log into Teams, MS Team, or Google Chat, or whatever. Okay, so that is there, and then your students would be there, and as a student you have listened to your lecture online. So that is synchronous learning. All right. Asynchronous learning is like if you upload files, PowerPoint slides, and other learning materials on the learning management system, okay, Moodle learning management system, or even on the Teams, even on MS Teams, then it is known as asynchronous learning system. Okay, asynchronous. That doesn't happen at the same time. All right, the provider and receiver would not be physically present at a time, not necessarily. They have uploaded slides, okay, learning materials, and you take your time and read them at your own pace, at your own convenience, all right, easily. So that was the example of asynchronous learning. Here I talk about asynchronous work. You might have learned about the software developers. So many software developers, computer software developers in Nepal. They've been working on this mode. The required product specifications would be provided to them, and then the software developing engineer would develop those things at his own pace or convenience. So not necessarily the job giver and job receiver be present at the same time. Not necessarily. It doesn't happen at the same time, but different times according to their convenience. So that is asynchronous work model. And this type of model has been very, very popular, and it's been more, it has received more bolster up, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, because it was also compulsory at that time. Therefore, asynchronous work models have emerged in the workplaces, not only in Nepal, but all over the world, and more in the Western Hemisphere, Western world. Okay, so skills and lifelong learning. Look at that. So emphasis, even the policy emphasis of universities has shifted from knowledge to skills. Okay, knowledge to skills. You should need not only knowledge but also skills, and not only skill and knowledge but also attitude. All right. So therefore, even Harvard University has developed the model ASK: attitude, skills, and knowledge. ASK, ask. All right. We call it Harvard model. But personally, I believe you should go even beyond that, because you need also emotional intelligence. Okay. So you can add emotional skills to that. All right. So emphasis on continuous upskilling and reskilling. I've been working in this area for a couple of years. I have 2 publications so far on this area: lifelong learning, continuous upskilling and reskilling. So it's been published in the Journal of Karmachari Sanchay Kosh. You can also have it online, free of cost, no worry. Okay, so you can also have it. So tomorrow it's not that you have earned your master's degree and full stop, not that. All right, it should go on and on and on. So continuous learning, because we all believe that our life itself is a non-stop learning process, isn't it? It is a never-ending process of learning. That is our life. Every day, every moment, we keep learning, don't we? Okay, so it's very important. Another dimension to it is employee experience and well-being. Look at that. Back home, you are a human. Okay, you are social. Means your own well-being should also get emphasis, priority. All right. So focus on mental health, purpose-driven work, and holistic employee support. Workers, regardless of their caste and creed, regardless of their technical background, educational background, should be well treated. All right. As a student of human resource management and behavioral sciences, I strongly believe that until and unless your human resources are given due value, due treatment, you cannot expect better things to happen. All right. So your plans, your vision could be there, but until and unless your human resources are there, competent human resources are there, you can't achieve anything. So accomplishments would be possible only from better, competent team of human resources. And finally, leadership and organizational culture. It's more emotional to talk about leadership sometimes, So leaders could be by chance sometimes, Sometimes you never know who would be the leader. It is more contextual also. Probably the principal sir is here, But when these technical issues emerge, technical glitches emerge, then somebody else would be the leader over there, right? And we teachers, we professors, but we can't help. The technical person is the leader in that instance, in that context. So therefore, leadership sometimes can be emotional and contextual. All right. So that's my point. Anyway, altogether, as long as the future of work, future of jobs is concerned, the leadership should be agile, inclusive, and emphatic. Let me repeat. The leadership should be agile, inclusive, and empathetic. Okay? So they should be able to put themselves in others' position to feel how it would really experience in that position. All right? So you put your legs into his shoes and try to feel what it feels, how it feels doing that job. All right? So that is empathy. And guiding resilient teams. The team should also be resilient. All right. So we have many slides, so I probably will go quickly, a bit quickly now. The future of work was accelerated, as we all know, by the emergence of artificial intelligence, number one. Internet of Things, and digitalization in the recent years. Okay? So you all know that. So because of that, it is shaping the future of work. So tomorrow, the jobs that we'll have would be shaped by artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and digitalization. Okay, and the context, of course, is fourth industrial revolution. So we have already navigated through the fourth industrial revolution, Industry 4.0. Okay, we'll discuss it in the subsequent slides also. So, but before that, let me also give you another example. Another driver that accelerated the future of work is COVID-19 pandemic. It has created more jobs and damaged some of other jobs. So the influence is huge. The influence of the COVID-19 pandemic is huge. Okay, so global versus local implications. Some jobs are created for global workforce. You got it? Global workforce. Even you can apply for that, and that is your not as a natural person, as a virtual person. You got my point. So, software developers, okay, software or consultants sit back their home and then they deliver services to the customers, their clients all over the world. Okay, so that is how that job is performed. So it has global application. Similarly, some jobs are locally available. Some construction workers, doing construction works on the roadsides or some buildings. Maybe some construction works might have been going on here. So the workers there. So it's for local people only. So then the creation of jobs could be for local or global workers. Okay. Now it's time to discuss a little bit about the fourth industrial revolution that we have navigated, okay, in the recent years. As I mentioned earlier, this forum has been doing extensively their research in this area. All right, let me talk a little bit about that, just a glimpse of that. So you all studied in your schools and colleges about the first industrial revolution. That was the major highlights were this steam engine, and mechanical production equipment. It really revolutionized entire work process, production process. Therefore, we call it first industrial revolution, and it progressed. In the second stage, the division of labor, electricity, mass production, they came up. So that is known as second industrial revolution. Okay. Then, in this past century, we have the third industrial revolution in the 70s, of course, in the decade of 1970s. So electronics, electronics here mean computer, IT, and automotive production. That was symbolized the third industrial revolution. But now, in the fourth, we call it the highlights, cyber physical systems that consist of AI, robotics, nanotechnology, so on and so forth. Okay, that is fourth industrial revolution, and now, and it is going to shape your future jobs. Future jobs. Fourth industrial revolution marks the new era that builds and extends the impact of digitalization in new and unanticipated ways. You can't easily anticipate it. It is in the store of future. You never know. But all we can do is predict it. So we have many mathematical models. I have to work with that. You even have these socio-anthropological models to make different types of estimates. Okay, but still it is very difficult to make the exact estimation. So things are unanticipated yet. All right. So let's connect digitalization with fourth industrial revolution, as I mentioned earlier. So this is the timeline, okay, and it has now moved towards the fourth industrial revolution, which is being characterized by cyber physical system, Internet of Things, network, artificial intelligence, so on and so forth. Okay, the same thing. Okay, so from first to third industrial revolution, we witnessed everything in the past, and now in the fourth industrial revolution, it has resulted in an advent of cyber physical systems involving entirely new capabilities for people and machine. This is very important. Let me emphasize on this, the phrase, look at that, entirely new capabilities for people and machine. So the skills, the knowledge we have now might not for future. So the cyber physical systems would require new types of capabilities, new type of skills, competency. And as a worker, as a performer and worker, you should possess those skills. Okay, connecting it with labor market, which is the sub-theme of this fourth National Conference. Okay, again, I would draw your attention towards the report of World Economic Forum. Okay, World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2025, the recent one. Believe me, it is this year's report, and there are all annual reports in the past. Okay, so they've been continuously in this area. So this report predicts significant changes in the labor market driven by global macro trends. This is the major takeaway from this report. Significant changes are predicted in labor market. So tomorrow when you enter the job market, I can see our students, and for us, it has posed new stress probably. All right. So major changes are there because of the global macro trends have emerged. Okay. So key insights of this report provided here on the key insights. I've elicited the important ones and listed here. Number one, very important data. 170 million new jobs are expected to be created by the end of 2025, this year. New jobs that never existed on this planet. Okay? New jobs. Not 170. 170 million. Big count, isn't it? So according to this report, 170 million new jobs are expected to be created this year, while 92 million jobs may be displaced, lost. There is a loss of 92 million jobs. Think of typist in the past, typist. Okay, does that job exist now? It does not. Rajkumar Pradhan sir, I couldn't see it. Anyway, So he was uh, uh, delivering my to you, and also elaborated like, yes, of course, I worked with the national media, print media, as the English National Daily editor for 15 years. Okay, so in the initial days, not during my time, but initial days, printing press would have compositor. Ever heard of this? Our new generation won't know that, but our generation knows better. Okay, compositors in press, printing press, they would have compositors, and what they do is they have small piece of metallic things, and then they put together the alphabets, made of some metal. So that is called the process of composing. Compose. Okay, A. Okay, B. They have to compose it. So it was very, very manual and cumbersome process. Very manual. Okay, so that was the time. Any compositors, because we set pages with the help of computer, desktop designing. Technically, it is known as desktop designing. What do they do? Okay, so those jobs have already lost. I can tell you the example of Kapoor Corporation, where we used to have almost 200 compositors. And can you imagine the situation or the plight of those compositors who are likely to lose their job? Almost 200 compositors. That constitutes almost 25% of our total workforce of that corporation. So, I'm talking about my previous employer. Okay, so 200 jobs, 200 people losing their job means their dependence back home could be some every you'd have to feed 5 or 6 people in the family. So multiply 200 by 5. So terrible. See, losing the job, it can be very painful at times. So we managers, policymakers should be careful about that. Should be sensitive towards this issue. Okay. So it resulted in a net increase of 70 million jobs. So that is the net effect, right? So I'm talking about World Economic Forum job report. So therefore, it has placed significant emphasis on developing skills. Okay, developing skills, analytical skills, computer skills, calculative skills, creative skills. I'm going to specify them in the subsequent slide. Okay. Skill development. As industries today evolve day after day. Okay, our industries evolve day after day, particularly with the advancement in generative AI. Generative AI, very, very big challenge. Reshaping task that we perform. Reshaping a task we perform across sectors. In engineering, not only in publication houses, not only in university system, not only not only in banking, everywhere it is going to reshape the task that you perform. Okay, so employers are focusing on human resource transformation strategies. Now it's time to look into HR transformative strategies. As long as the AI, generative AI, has already made its onslaught on our work system, on our management system, right? Then it is important. You have to transform, you bring about and implement the transformation strategies. Who you have to transform? Your human resources, okay? To adapt to those changes that have taken place as a result of generative AI, as a result of the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so emphasizing the need for new skills and new job roles. Okay, it's going to change. The job you are handling or performing is going to change, and demand more skills that you might possess or might not. Former case, you are safe. In this latter case, your job is at risk. All right. So the future of jobs is in the change context is like hitting hard masses of workers lacking required skills to compete for jobs. The latter case, okay, where you don't possess the skills, aptitude, knowledge that job demands, and you don't possess it, you are going to lose your job. All right. So big risk. So this type of change has hit masses of workers, those who lack those skills. Big challenge. Okay. So emphasis on enhancing soft skills, social skills, and mathematical ability. So here I have specified the skills that world economy has is supposed to have emphasized. It has already predicted that tomorrow the jobs will require these skills or the combination, okay, combination of these skills. ICT, Internet of Things, and AI cause all new requirements of human resources. Of course, it has changed. It has brought about tremendous changes to our workplaces, okay, and the requirement of human resources. Emphasis on strategically designed human resources and HRD program, human resource development programs. It should be strategically designed, analyzing the environmental changes, ESG, governance changes, socio-cultural changes, economic changes, technological changes, ecological changes, global changes, everywhere. Okay, so you have to design your training program, development program strategically. Here I have reproduced this report where it has ranked the top jobs. Okay, so World Economic Forum's latest report has ranked the top jobs. I afraid you might not be able to read it out because of the small font here, but I read out for you. Okay, the top growing jobs. Number one, surprisingly, it is farm works, because everything can be compromised, not food, right? So in the previous reports, this was not on the top 5, but now it has come to top 5 because countries, different geographic areas might suffer from drought, famine, now number 1 is farm works and laborers in agricultural workers. That means livestock, of course. Okay, livestock farming is going to be the top sought jobs in the future. That means if you prepare for that, that is good for us. Okay. Light truck and delivery service drivers, because you need transportation and all. Then software and application developers. At a time in the previous year it was in number 1, but now it has been pushed down to 3rd position. So then building framers, finishers, related trade workers. Now it is trade, different trades. Your trade different types of professions. Trade means profession. So that is there, which emerging trades. Okay, then but what is losing? Which jobs are losing? Cashiers, come on, because everything would be mechanized. So cashiers jobs, ticket clerks, declining jobs. Okay, these are the declining jobs. Administrative assistants and executive secretaries, you don't need those in the future. So so and so forth. Okay, many things are there. Even accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks, that is in the 6th position now. 7th position, accountants and auditors. My God, it's going down. And surprisingly, even bank tellers and related clerks, number 10 position, losing their jobs. But in banking, credit department, guarantee department, those jobs would be in high demand, but not clerks. I mean tellers, cash counters, because you might have also experienced like many banks have cut down on the number of tellers. They used to have 10 or 11 tellers, counters, but now they have brought it down to 2 or 3 tellers because ATM is there, or Connect IPS and other those things are there. Electronic. Anyway, so this is the report. So change in availability of jobs tomorrow. So it has added new challenges to HRD managers like you. If have to be very careful about that. Okay, you have to develop your people in view of the emerging jobs, increasing jobs, decreasing jobs. Okay. So now altogether, human resource management, the way you manage your human resources, it is at a crossroads now. Traditional versus future-ready HRM. So we've been practicing traditional human resource management, but now we need future-ready HRM. Future of jobs. The jobs in future will require. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, it works. Okay. So future-ready HRM should be our goal now. Okay. So we should connect our HRM process and practices with the future job requirements. So challenges are still there. Retention of your human resources. And let's take it positively. Retention here means that even those workers who lack some of the skills required by that job could be trained and developed. Okay? Something that I believe. So if you are able to develop good package of training and development of human resources, you can train them, you can develop them so that they can be retained in that particular job. You don't need to, the turnover will not result. You don't need to discharge or terminate that employee. Instead, you can continue him or her. Upskilling, very important. Okay, so many things are there. Even the mental health. So many emotional intelligence. I already told you. Emergence of HR as a strategic partner. Now, in the recent years, the human resource management or HR job role is more strategic. So in our organizations, it should be a strategic partner. So the human resource development takes the center stage today because it fulfills the gap between the present skills and knowledge and competency of the job holder and the future requirement, future skill requirement of that job holder. So the gap exists. That gap can be bridged through the HRD program, training and development programs. Okay, so manage HRD strategically. Key forces shaping the future, very important. We are interested to know about that. Technological disruption, AI, and all those things happen, and it has shaped the future of job. Demographic shifts. All right, demographic shifts. It has made many changes here. Workforce flexibility. Again, I emphasized earlier also. Little bit talk about demographic shifts. In the past, maybe 40 years back, the demography of our bureaucracy in Nepal, the government service. Can you imagine how, what would be the proportion of women in the entire bureaucracy in Nepal? At that time, hardly 1%. Hardly 1%. But now, the demographic shift has taken place. Even more and more women have joined the job, even elevated to the position of chief secretary. There was a lady, you remember? So demographic shift has taken place. In banking, so heavily, so bigger chunk of women have joined banking system. Insurance, sales, so many areas, right? So demographic shifts have taken place. Workforce flexibility, it also shapes the future of jobs, of course. ESG and purpose-driven culture. right? Look at that. So here I would like to talk a little bit about this purpose-driven culture in the connection of ESG now. Well, purpose-driven culture of workers. So in the past, there was no career conscious people. So workers, graduates from the college would not be so much purpose conscious or career conscious. They would say, "Je bhaye pani euta job garau," type, bank, okay. Kuनै private company, okay. Je ma pani okay type. So that was the culture at that time. But now people have become more choosy because of also they have been exposed to internet material, so they know what is good, what is bad, what options are available for them, okay, and how to explore newer and newer options. So the information is so much handy for them. Therefore, it has made them career conscious and purpose driven. If I join a commercial bank, what I would be in next 20 years, I would be the department head probably, or in next 25 years, I would be the CEO of the bank. So career path, he has also imagined the things, envisaged how to get career elevation and get to that position. That could be, the senior manager, and then ultimately the CEO of the bank. So career path. She has chalked out the career path. And the job they do, banking job they do, or the career they have followed should be purpose driven. Okay? It's not that whatever comes their way, they do. Please take my words. Whatever comes their way, they do that job. No. These days, the new generation people are substantially purpose driven. If you don't like that job, he or she will quit it. And make sure that this type of situation never arises. If they squander their time, they waste their time doing the jobs in which they are not interested. Okay? So make sure that purpose-driven culture is cultivated. Okay? Let's foster purpose-driven culture. All right, let's redefine resilience in HRM. Everybody talks about resilience, but what it means in human resource management. Psychological safety and well-being. And it's very important that everybody should be psychologically fit, not only that, but also mentally healthy. Okay? So emotional intelligence at the same time. Emotional maturity among the people, among the workers, that is also important, right? So psychological safety and well-being, that makes things like, then it is resilient. The human resilience in HRM means that there is psychological safety and well-being. Similarly, the HR system is agile. The HR system you have in your organization, in your workplace is agile. It can take shape according to the requirement, according to the context, right? Then scenario planning. At times the entire external environment could be unpredictable, but at least you can have some information about that. Keep continuously studying the external environment so that you have some knowledge, fundamental knowledge about that, and you start working with scenario planning. You plan it. Planning means everything in advance, right? So you do that, and also be able to handle crisis management well. If the major change takes place, what happens? What to do? For example, remember the time when COVID-19 pandemic hit all of us. So we had to resort to crisis management. No classes in Kopa College. No classes in any university colleges. Panicked. Everybody was panicked, right? And at the time, I was in a position to make the comparison, because at Nepal Open University, we had always started online classes for last 1.5 years. So we've been accustomed to online classes. But for other universities, other colleges, it was a big crisis, and everybody would have to manage it. I remember the time I volunteered in many colleges, even Triveni University, to shape the things, to make their plans, formulate their plans and policies and strategies, how to deliver the online classes, okay, and how to make online evaluation. So I volunteered, not only in Nepal, luckily also Scotland and South Africa. I deliver the lectures, 2 or 3 hour lecture over there. Can you imagine, even Scotland is part of Britain, But as far as the online evaluation was concerned, they were also in panic. They were also tried to learn from us. I don't mean that they don't have that mechanism. They have had got, but our system was the tested system. In Nepal Open University, that system was the tested one. Therefore, they also tried to learn from us. So I volunteered anyway. So crisis never comes to you with notice. Crisis. So it is always unpredictable. All right. Okay, driving innovation now. Another component of our theme. All right. So driving innovation through effective human resource management. Again, the first important point is culture of continuous learning. Again, I repeat, our life itself is a never-ending process. Never-ending process of learning. Then it makes a point for you to follow continuous learning, formally continuous education, what they call. At Indira Gandhi National Open University, some 28 years back, I remember, 28 years back, they started continuous education. Even the top level bank managers or bureaucrats should join some type of education or the other formally. Okay, that was a requirement. And they design it. They design those programs. So that was the humble start, humble beginning. That could be replicated even today in our organizations. Okay. So skills over degrees. Skills are important. Skills should be updated and job specific. All right, not only degrees. So diversity and inclusion as innovation drivers. So many people here in Nepal in particular I have come across fail to believe, fail to recognize the advantage or benefits of diversity. So you remember the time during the Panchayat system, even the constitution envisages like ek jati, ek bhasha sort of thing, that was Panchayat. Okay, they failed to recognize the true meaning of or benefits of diversity. Actually, as a student of management, I believe the best performing teams are those which are heterogeneous, not homogeneous. Not homogeneous, only heterogeneous. Okay, so when there is diversity, then the total output and outcome would multiply, believe me. And all those research works and experiments have proved it. If your team is homogeneous in terms of ethnicity, language, cultural background, educational background, your team is going to falter. And just opposite is the case, then it will be more beneficial. Okay, so this is what has been already proved. So diversity and inclusion. आजकल समावेशिताको कुरा गर्छौं हैन, त समावेशिताका कुरा शब्दमा मात्र सीमित गर्नलाई होइन, रियालिटीमा it is beneficial है. Diversity and inclusion as innovation drivers, right? It helps you innovate things, innovate system, innovate processes. Okay, so since we have very limited time, I will not detail them out, but just give you example. You can also explore, search in the internet. So Google AI-driven HR analytics. So it is a symbol of Google is the symbol of AI-driven analytics. How they did it. I mean, the driving innovation to HRM. Right? Another example is Infosys. Of course, it is the symbol, is the example of reskilling programs And in Nepal, local digital HR innovation has taken place, in different companies. I have just come across some marketing, advertising company. They were talking, taking my suggestion how to do that, HR innovation. They have put their system in place. Okay. Now, future ready HRM. I think many of you are inquisitive to know about you. Future ready HRM, how to make it happen, So framework, basically there are 5 pillars, I believe, 5 pillars. First is digital transformation, okay? So of course, I've been recapitulating what I have discussed so far, right? First, earlier also I emphasized on digital transformation, employee experience. That experience is not only career experience, but also human experience. How it feels working with Rupak sir, how it feels working with Rajan sir, right? KP sir. How it feels working with them, that is experience. Not only career specific, not only profession specific, but also human specific, emotion specific, workplace ambience specific, okay? So if you can provide positive experience to your people in all these regards, individual team members, okay? Availability of water, availability of light, everything, quality of work life, very well, QWL, right? Reskilling. Once you are trained as an engineer, it is not the end of your learning, right? You are already an engineer, licensed, but it is not for your entire life. You should keep learning. Same thing applies to we people. Already a professor, does it mean that the learning process stopped? No. Does it mean that research, no more research required? It's wrong. A professor is expected to do more and more research, of course, but things are just opposite in Nepal. Okay, so inclusive leadership. Okay, leadership should be inclusive. I already emphasized earlier. Data-driven decisions. Okay, very important. We also teach in our classes. So decision making in management, decision making should be based on data. And that data may not always be physical, but also sometimes emotional data. Okay? So role of leadership in the new era. I'm almost done, sir, okay? So emotional intelligence, emotional EQ, emotional quotient, and maturity. Co-creation with employees. Okay, this is very important. We talk about teamwork, okay? But co-creation, we will sit together and create something new, innovate something new, work together. Not only that, only the boss innovate. No, not necessarily. Even the employees and boss sit together, have discussions, and then they co-create the things. Not only product, but also processes. Okay? So, finally, I'm coming down to recommendation for HR professionals or HR managers. Adopt strategic HRD. That is very, very important. I've been telling you now. Strategic HRD. Then embrace lifelong learning, lifelong education. Develop hybrid policies, more flexible and agile, of course. Invest in technology and people, very important. And of course, Kobo College has also been doing that, investing in technology and people. And it is people who manage technology, please believe me. So what comes first? People. People comes first. And then technology, right? And then they complement each other. They supplement each other. Both complementary and supplementary. Okay. Cross-sector collaboration. These days, again, I emphasized earlier, homogeneous teams won't be productive, but heterogeneous teams. So therefore, people from different sectors should work together, coexist, cohabitat, and then work together. Right? So what you should do. So my call to action is rethink HR as a driver of innovation. HR is not only just recording attendance and making salary payment. No, not only that. Those are the routine jobs, but HR can contribute to the entire management. Okay, empower people's strategies, and here again, a bit more humanistic view. Emerging strategies, areas, and pathways. Here, managing HR, ICT, AI interfaces. So many managers wrongly think that AI or technology is superior to humans. No, not that. We have to work, put them together. Building effective virtual teams of HR. Yes, we can make use of virtual modes, virtual tools, but again, human resources are there, human values are there. Okay, therefore, push for collaborative synergy. How to have it? Imperative need is to work with plans for making ICT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, both supplementary and complementary, not contradictory to human. Not contradictory, okay? But supplementary and complementary to each other. To develop them, transforming human resources into human capital. Now human capital. Not only resources. Resources are used and thrown away. Once used, consumed, finished, not that. But human capital can be invested, reinvested, and reinvested. So that is my point, okay? So machine power or artificial intelligence. You all talk about artificial intelligence. That is the machine power. That machine power or AI should not and cannot replace and displace human power. Machine power is there, very mighty, but brain is human, okay? Hence, the need to promote collaborative intelligence. Human intelligence, machine intelligence. Artificial intelligence and human intelligence. The collaboration between them would produce this synergy. So, finally, HR's future is human. Let's design it wisely. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, professors, for your nice talk. We have no more time, so I would like to request to participants, if you have any query with Professor Stapit, you may ask some questions. The floor is open.
Namaste, sir. I have a question and query. You talked about empathetic leadership. Terminology. I am driven to that. So, what kind of leadership it is? Empathetic leadership.
All right, thank you. So this is the example of inquisitive mind, no? जिज्ञासु स्वभावलाई चाहिँ जहिले पनि सलाम गर्नुपर्छ है जान्न चाहने कुरा. Okay, it's about like empathy. Let's talk about empathy. So the leader should be able to feel, predict how it feels if in his position. Let's imagine Rupak sir is my boss, okay? Rupak sir is my boss, and as a leader, you should be able to think in my position. Empathy भन्ने त्यो हो नि हैन. अब जस्तो मलाई मेरो समस्या के हो, मेरो आमा बुवा दुवै बिरामी छ हैन, आज अफिस आउन अलिक ढिलो छ स्थिति भने एज अ लिडर उहाँले के सोच्नु पर्यो, यदि म हरन सरको ठाउँमा भइदिया भए, यो मान्छेको ठाउँमा भइदिया भए म के गर्थेँ होला हैन. त्यो मतलब के गर्नु पर्यो, उहाँले के भन्नु पर्यो, टाइम म्यानेजमेन्ट गरिदिनु पर्यो क्या. लाइक अब कुनै एउटा जब छ, इज एक्सपेक्टेड टु बी परफर्म बाई 2 o'clock today, but since I was not present at the job, Rupak sir was already he worried about the completion of the job, so you might be able to be empathetic. So now as a leader, empathetic leader, he should be able to bring out somebody else in my replacement for an hour or two, okay, so that job is partly performed, and once I join the job, then I will perform that job. So empathetic, okay. यदि यो भएन भने के हुन्छ भन्नुहोस् त तपाईको. Just think reverse. He was not empathetic and he forced me to join, हैन, अथवा के भयो, चित्त दुख्छ नि मान्छेलाई हैन. त्यो त इट इज लङ लास्टिङ मेमोरी रहन्छ मान्छेलाई. चित्त दुखेपछि लङ लास्टिङ मेमोरी रहन्छ हैन. त्यसैले इट इज मोर काउन्टर प्रोडक्टिभ. बुझ्नुभयो नि, तपाईँले एकदम कडाइ गर्नुभयो भने त्यो काउन्टर प्रोडक्टिभ हुन्छ हैन. ह्युमन रिसोर्सलाई चाहिँ म्यानेज गरिदिने हो क्या. अनि सो द्याट यो पोजिसनमा त उहाँले गरेको कामले मेरो सम्मान उहाँको प्रति, एउटा लिडर प्रति झन् बढ्छ नि त. एन्ड इट इज द मोटिभेसन है. यो यस्तो इनर्जी हो क्या यो, त्यो इनर्जीले मलाई झन्झन काम गर्यो। मलाई यस्तो पढ्दा त उहाँले सहयोग गरिदिनु भयो होइन, अर्को एउटा वैकल्पिक व्यवस्था गरिदिनु भयो। सो देन आई वुड नट ओन्ली बी अब्लाइज टु हिम बट अब्लाइज टु द इन्टायर सिस्टम एज द लिडरसिप।
Any more question?
बसमा हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा मैले एउटा पढेको, यो धेरै जसो आइटी सेक्टर अमेरिकामा बसहरू इन्जिनहरू हुन्छ नि, किन उनी इन्जिनहरूलाई राख्यो भन्दा त्यहाँ अब इन्जिनहरू बस चाहिँ हुने आफ्नो देशमा त्यो इनोभेसन गर्न नसक्ने। अनि किन यस्तो भयो भन्दाखेरि यो अमेरिकन पछिल्लो यति चलाएको छ कि त्यो इन्जिनहरूसँग इम्प्याटी हुँदैन, अनि उनीहरूलाई भोटेर मजदुरलाई काम गर्न लाउँछ, उनीहरू पछाडि बसेर नाफा खाने, काम हराउने, छुच्चो बनाउने भन्छ नि, त्यो भने। अब सरको भनाइको यहाँ मेल खाएको उल्टो हो, यसमा सरको भनाइ के छ?
होइन, सरले नै यसको जवाब दिएको जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई होइन, होइन उल्टो भयो भन्नु भने होइन। अनि अर्को कुरा पेलेर भनेपछि यो आई टेक द्याट वर्ड क्या, पेल्नु भने त समथिङ नेगेटिभ, इट हेज अ नेगेटिभ कन्नोटेसन नै हो नि होइन। तर अब होला कुनै एकाध अपवाद त हुन सक्ला, तर ब्रडली त्यस्तो हुँदैन। जस्तो तपाईँ नै आफ्नो इम्प्याथी गरेर हेर्नु न होइन। हाम्रो मैले प्रिन्सिपल सर देखेँ समवेयर, अब सोचौँ न होइन सर होइन, मैले यो कुरा त प्रिन्सिपल सरलाई सुनाइरहेको हो क्या मलाई लाग्छ मैले जवाब दिनु पर्दैन होला हो होइन हजुर ए ओके ओके होइन एक्ज्याक्टली ह्युमन इन्टेलिजेन्सलाई प्रयोग गर्ने हो भने इमोसनल इन्टेलिजेन्स पनि चाहिन्छ क्या हामीलाई होइन। त्यो इमोसनल इन्टेलिजेन्समा हामी जब सफलता हासिल गर्छौँ नि अनि मात्रै हामीले मान्छेबाट काम लिन सक्छौँ नि त होइन। त्यसैले यो पेलेरै जाने स्ट्रिक्ट रुल राखेर जाँदा चाहिँ त्यसको अहिले तत्काल चाहिँ तपाईँले रिजल्ट देख्नुहुन्छ होइन, तर त्यो चित्त दुखाएको कुरा गरेँ नि त्यो त इट इज लङ लास्टिङ हुन्छ नि त, पछाडिसम्म जान्छ। र यु नेभर नो, सम पिपल माइट ह्याभ द्याट मेन्टल फ्याकल्टी विच कुड बी डिस्ट्रप्टिभ होइन, अथवा कोही त हानिकारक हुनसक्छ, ऊ चाहिँ आक्रामक पनि हुनसक्छ, बुझ्नुभयो नि होइन। उल्टो कोही कोही त अब इमोसन कन्ट्रोल हुने त बस्ला, तर इमोसन कन्ट्रोल नहुनेले चाहिँ त्यो विद्रोह गर्न सक्ला अथवा भनौँ डिस्ट्रक्सन पनि गर्न सक्ला नि होइन। संस्थाहरूमा तपाईँले देख्नु होला टोयलेटहरूको सबै बिगारेर होइन गएको हुन्छ, चुकुल सबै बिगारेको हुन्छ, त्यो भने कतै कहीँ न कतै उसको त्यो हि हेज सी हेज भेन्टेड आउट आयर क्या, उसको त्यो रिस पोखेको हो नि त्यो व्यक्तिमा। त्यो हाकिमलाई त उसले केही भन्न सक्दैन होइन, अनि त्यो यस्तो निर्जीव सामानमा उसले डिस्ट्रक्सन गर्छ होइन। त्यो संस्थालाई एज अ होल त खराब होला नि त होइन। यसरी पनि बुझौँ, यसको धेरै डाइमेन्सन छ, बसेर कुनै बेला अझ थप कुरा गरौँ होला।
नमस्कार, म कुल बहादुर राणा। जो कुरा गर्नुभयो आई एम भेरी मच थ्याङ्कफुल फर यो ब्युटिफुल प्रेजेन्टेसन। देयर वाज अल अबाउट ह्युम्यानिटी। AI, we can collaborate human mind with AI too. What if there is a development of general AI, general intelligence, GI, and what would be the sustainability of humanity? Humanity ko general AI bhaidiyo bhane emotional artificial intelligence, we are talking about artificial intelligence. If technology will replace AI or it moves to general intelligence, what will be the sustainability of humanity? Can we think on this?
हजुर के भन्नु यहाँको शुभ नाम?
मेरो कुल राणा सर, कुल बहादुर राणा।
कुल जी, हजुर कुल जी, your question is exactly the theme of my presentation. I concluded with those slides. You know it very well, right? So I have clearly mentioned. I'm also, my concern, very strong concern, is about replacement or displacement of human or humanity, human resources, because of the machine power or artificial intelligence. So I strongly emphasize that artificial intelligence, machine powered, generative AI, whatever, should not and cannot replace and displace human power or human intelligence or human emotion. हैन यो मेरो चिन्ता तपाईले पनि भन्नुभएको कुरा एउटै हो र हामी दुवै अब यो सोचाइमा कहाँनिर मेल खायो भने we have the concern how to make it happen हैन यो collaboration चाहिँ हुन जाओस् न not contradiction but collaboration. So let's make it complementary and supplementary भन्दैछु म है त्यही भएर हैन चिन्ता त हामीलाई पनि त्यही हो त्यसैले we all should join hands and work together to make sure that machine power, artificial intelligence would not replace human intelligence, human power, human resources, so that our humanity would continue to thrive in this planet. हैन यहाँ रहोस् न एउटा मानवीयता भन्ने रहोस् हैन त्यसले हो नि मसिनले बढी काम गर्यो भन्दैमा मान्छेको जागिरबाट निकाल्दै जाने हैन यो तरिका भएन बरु मैले अहिले सानो एउटा केस यहाँ जोड्न सकिन्छ गोरखापत्र संस्थानको एउटा एक्जाम्पल दिएँ नि मैले हैन झन्डै 200 भन्दा बढी हाम्रा कर्मचारी साथीहरू जो कम्पोजिटरको जब गर्थे दिनरात काम गर्थे दे वर लाइकली टु लुज द जब त्यसैले उनीहरूलाई के गरियौँ त भने त्यहाँनिरको म्यानेजमेन्टले पोलिसी ल्यायो असफल छैन है हुन सक्छ यो के गर्यो भने त्यहाँ उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ कम्प्युटर यो डेस्कटप डिजाइनिङको ट्रेनिङमा पठाइदियो हैन अब के बुढा भइसकेकाहरू चाहिँ हामीलाई परेन रिटायरमेन्ट लिन्छौँ भन्यो तर जो अलि यङ एजका थिए जो सिक्ने उमेरमा थिए उनीहरूले त कम्प्युटर जोइन गरे हेर्नु सिके उनीहरूले संस्थाले उनीहरूले सिधै ट्रेनिङ दिए त्यो 3 महिने ट्रेनिङले उनीहरू अहिलेसम्म खाइरहेछ संस्थानभित्र मात्र हैन बाहिर पनि जब खाइरहेछ अब उनीहरूको पद फरक भयो हिजो कम्पोजिटर भन्ने पद थियो त्यो कम्पोजिटर पद अब ट्रान्सफर्मेसन भएर उ चाहिँ डेस्कटप डिजाइनर भन्ने पद आयो बुझ्नु भएन ह्युम्यानिटी त रह्यो नि all you need is idea अनि एटिट्युड पोजिटिभ एटिट्युड उनीहरूलाई खराब नहोस् भन्ने तपाईको पोजिटिभ एटिट्युड हो भने भइहाल्छ ओके कुलबहादुर जी did I answer your question?
My concern was just a fear for if human mind goes down being away from creativity if then in that context what would be the situation? I was concerned about that only. I agree with your point, sir.
Yeah, of course we work together मैले नै भने हैन हामी म्यानेजरहरूले पनि सुनिश्चित गर्नुपर्ने यो कुराहरू हैन make sure machine power would not replace and displace human power गर्ने त्यही हो नि हैन एटिट्युड चाहियो ओके अरु पनि कुरा गर्न सक्छौं हामी on sidelines we can have more discussion.
Thank you, Professor. हामी समयभन्दा अलिक ढिला छौं त्यसैले प्रोफेसर स्थापित क्यान टक थ्रू आउट द डे इन दिस टपिक तपाईहरु जो जिज्ञासु हुनुहुन्छ उहाँसँग लन्च टाइममा अरु टाइममा पनि उहाँले तपाईको जिज्ञासा मेट्नु हुनेछ अब हामी चाहिँ लन्चको लागि जान्छौं र लन्च पछि हामी हुन त यो ठ्याक्कै 12 बजे देखि अर्को सेसन सुरु हुनुपर्ने हामी 1 घण्टा लगभग ढिला भइसकेका छौं टोकन अफ लभको लागि म रेस्पेक्टेड प्रिन्सिपल प्रकाश कुमार श्रेष्ठ सरलाई म अगाडि आउन अनुरोध गर्दछु र थ्यांक यू प्रोफेसर अर्गनाइज स्थापित फर योर नाइस एन्ड ब्युटिफुल टक that is really motivative and inspirational for us. Thank you.